want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Also want to give double honors unto the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations unto the elect of Yasha, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. Also blessings and salutations to you Akim out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, preaching and prophesying through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nations, but are of the nation of Israel on your father's side by blood. And getting into a quick article, man, just dealing with the threat of AI, and just Esau and his NWO unfolding and gradually moving towards it. Pretty much conditioned, right? He pretty much conditioned. Let's get that word. Let's see if it'll separate it. Okay. It says to make conditions, stipulate, subject to something as condition, form, or prerequisite of, to bring to a desired condition. Particular mode of being of a person or thing. A requisite or prerequisite, a stipulation. An agreement, a stipulation of person, situation, condition, nature, manner, of things, from codicere, to speak with, talk together, agree upon. Right? Breaks down to the word con, meaning with or together, and desire, to speak. So you what conspire, means to breathe together. Okay, but when people are conditioned, they're what he's doing is preparing people to be the same, which is crazy because it's once again it's the opposite of how YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI intended for things to be. The scriptures say that he divided the nations with much knowledge, or something to that effect. Let me see if I can find it. With much knowledge, he divided the nations, I think it says. Yep, kind. This is Ecclesiasticus 33 and 11. It says, in much knowledge the Lord hath Salakia, in much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. I'm gonna go up to 10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. There you go. And the same thing happened with the Tower of Babel. All right, which pretty much this system, that's what it's all coming to, is a new form of the Tower of Babel. All right, bringing everybody together and having everybody be as one, uniting everybody. But it's telling you in much wisdom, the Lord divided their ways. He made us different. All right, when it comes to foods that we eat, the way that we operate, the morals that we keep, the just virtue, faith, Now his spirit is in all things, but he's given unto us, the Israelites, his Holy Spirit. All right. He's given us the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. He's given us the way that the world is soon to be in the kingdom of heaven, which will be on earth. Okay, but right here, Esau is conditioning people. All right, getting them into agreement. All right, to speak together, to have it at agreements, to be, have one consent. Okay, and by their nature, in a sense of going along to get along, just agreeing with things. you know. Just agreeing with things and being a sheeple, right? And right on into this system. All right. So as you can see, this was dated a couple of days ago. It says Gen X may be the first to need a universal basic income from AI threat to careers. And this word has been popping up, over the past couple of years, you know. Um, and the thing is with it, so that was man, 2020 hit. 2020 started laying the foundation. Well, the foundation was already there. 2020 started building. That was a major trying to see, I got the word there. I would just say a pivotal moment to where they're trying to go, to where they're headed. Because that caused certain people to lose their jobs, certain people to take that juice, you know, which was a prelude to what's coming with the MOTB. All right. It was a trial run, but certain businesses wasn't able to stand strong. Okay, people was at unease, had to be into their homes and begging to come out, begging to come out and play, so to speak. All right, with clubs being closed and bars being closed, and you got to go in certain stores at certain hours, and you got to wear a mask, and there were, minute curfews. Okay, there was all type of things going on, and now they're talking about universal basic income. That's why they got people comfortable with doing everything at home. You know, you need to go to the movies for. You can just stream it at home. All right. Certain theaters still, move, but people don't go to the movies like that. I was just checking out a video. People don't even go to restaurants like that. Everything comes to you. You can just have everything delivered, even a universal basic income. And with these Gen Xers, let's see, let's get a particular age group. That's that word all up. 45 to 60. Because Gen X or they've been having to work longer, you know, and on top of that, it's like thank you for coming, pretty much. You came, you did your part. Now we don't need you anymore. All right, so they definitely wouldn't mind sitting at home. There was in my old job, they was paying people to retire. Get out of here. We gonna bring in, fresh people. But that was more of a manual labor thing, you know. But let me get into this article. So it says, as artificial intelligence continues to reshape the workforce, concerns are mounting about its impact on white collar professionals, particularly those in mid to late career stages. Right? So you done went to college, you done did all of this, and um, in debt, you working this job to pay off that college tuition, if it ain't paid off yet. All right, you late in your career or you comfortable in your career and you at risk, man, where you can potentially go from making, let's say 2,000, or we'll just say let's say 35 3,500 a month, and then you get a universal basic income, and it's just, pretty much shaves off $1,000. Possibly can manage, but that's not what you used to, but your job has been taken by AI, man. All right. It says recent analysis indicate that up to half of all white collar jobs could vanish due to AI advancements, leaving many workers in precarious position. And what what it is, like, it's not gonna happen. It wouldn't happen overnight. You know, we do know and understand that some jobs have been replaced, and that was part of the conditioning. When you used to call customer service and talk to a person, then over time you start talking to automated machines and shit. And then they won't let you go past a certain point unless you give them a certain amount of information. You know, so it's just all part of the system for them, you know, setting up for their NWO. All right, which there's many factors and avenues that lead to it, you know. Um, but the workforce, shoot, 15-minute cities is part of it. What you need to go here and go there for, you got everything you need right there. All right. I like to think of the movie Elysium. They was on a whole nother planet living good, while the other people on Earth just surviving, scraping and scratching, man. They had machines that can just heal you like that, but you had to have a certain connection to it to even get to that machine. Other than that, you just on Earth, you sick or whatever, you just gonna be die out pretty much. All right. It says this scenario echoes the experiences of baby boomers during the 2008 Great Recession, but Generation X faces even greater vulnerabilities, potentially making them the first cohort to require widespread support like universal basic income. All right, let's just look this up, It says financial support provided by government in the form of standard recurring payments to individuals without the need of pre-qualifications. All right. The idea, that's okay. I'm going to check it over here as well. See the pros and cons to it. See what they're saying. UBI proposes guaranteed regular payments to all citizens with potential pros including poverty reduction, improved health, increased worker empowerment, and fostered entrepreneurship, but potential cons such as an immense cost, decreased work incentives, risk of inflation, and complex implementation challenges. UBI could only serve as a buffer against job losses for automation and simplify welfare system, though critics argue the cost outweighs the benefits and that it could negatively impact the economy. All right, and that's a thing too. It's like, shoot, the government shut down right now because they couldn't come upon agreements, and it's money over here, money being sent there. There's people who can't maintain. You got a bunch of people online complaining about not being able to make ends meet. You got the big beautiful bill, which is cutting costs at certain government fundings. All right. But if they could have it too, it's like, boom, here, just take this, deal with it, you know? This is Ecclesiasticus 12, and I'm going to jump straight to it. In verse 3, it says, in a day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, meaning not too many jobs being available. Not too many people being able to work. All right. And it's like if we once again, if we have these robots and this AI technology, and if you can be replaced with no complaints, why wouldn't we do it? Yeah, you can still live. We'll give you, a little bit of money. All right, but then once again, they have control of that. Ain't no overtime with a in the UBI system. They're gonna give you what they give you, man. And guess what? You're gonna own nothing and be happy, as they say. Because it'll get down to it's like, oh, you wanna buck up against it? Well, we'll take it. We'll cut it off. We'll lessen it. The social credit score. Oh, you acting up and acting wild? All right. Well, we'll decrease your amount monthly or weekly or whatever. You know. Um, Let me see. And I actually had seen a video based off of this too. You know, um, with a bunch of older people getting losing jobs and look, okay, yeah, let me grab this. It's dang, it was some good points in here. It says compounding these issues, Gen X's collective network is roughly half that of the boomers, burdened by higher debt levels and threatened comfortable retirements. Because what had happened with them is during the 2008 situation. Uh, it says in 2008, Great Recession hit the baby boomer generation, particularly late boomers, hard by drastically reducing retirement savings and earnings due to job loss, stock market crashes, and declining home values. Many late boomers experienced a permanent drop in their earning power and 401k balances, and some were forced to delay retirement and stay in the labor force longer than previous generations. So, if you have it to where you have the type of job of more of a well, this is more so speaking about the ones like within the office, the white collar. All right, the ones with the with more of here we go. It says white collar professionals perform knowledge based, administrative or managerial work, typically in an office setting, relying on intellectual and specialized skills rather than physical labor. Examples include lawyers, accountants, engineers, executives, and IT professionals who are often required to have a higher education and are paid a salary. So we can get rid of all of that. They don't need you to be knowledge based. They don't need your intellect. Yeah, they don't need what they taught you because they've taught it. And we've taught the AI. Remember, it was talking about Flutter asked all these questions and it was learning. So everything it knows, and it can do it faster and more accurate. So what is the need for you? That's why those type of jobs are under threat, and eventually, they have the humanoid robots in warehouses, and they had those robotic forklifts or different machinery that was at the dock. That was the whole purpose of them protesting, having that the people working at the dock protesting. It's like, you want to replace us with machines, you know. That's the thing. They'll give you a little more money, but at the end of the day, if the money ain't nothing, once you need access to that money, which is gonna come in the form of the MOTB, then it is what it is. Hey, you wanna all right, you wanna complain here, take this money for now. But I know, with the devil speaking, thinking as the devil, I know when it comes time for me to implement my new system, you're gonna bow down to me anyway, right? And that's why I wanted to get Sirach 13. Let me see. Oh, I did also want to speak on the windows being darkened. It's like that vision that you once had. The hope that you once had, an American dream, or retiring at a certain age, or having certain things at such a value. All of that is out the window, man, because this place is going down. It says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Works and jobs and work is low, getting low and being fewer. All right. And he shall rise up at the house of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." All right. So going into Sirach 13, it says, "He that touches pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him." And that's what happens in this society. People that hold hand with Esau, they have to be like him in order to survive. All right. You gotta get down or lay down, pretty much. It says, "Burden not yourself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken." Yeah, that the scripture also say, "Strive not with a man that is mightier than thou." All right, because they have more power. The brother was putting me on to that a little bit yesterday. Just understanding that this is not our kingdom. This is not a righteous system, and there's a bunch of injustice in this place. So, being that they have the power right now, we're kind of into their hands. All right, until the Lord delivers us, man. It says, "The rich man hath done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal. The poor is wronged, and he must entreat also." And that often happens. You can get into an argument with a supervisor. That was my situation yesterday. But at the end of the day, if we take it up the ladder, 10 times out of 10, they're going to agree with him over me. And they'll just replace me and keep him because, like the brother was saying, they getting the job. It looks as if he's getting the job done, when really it's the workers that's getting the job done, but they can just replace you. Even in the sense of this, like, if they get rid of these Gen Xers, they can just replace them, man. All right? This man doesn't believe in worth unless he can. Well, I think it says it in this chapter. It might be in chapter 12. No, it says it next. Matter of fact, "If thou be for a prophet, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee." And that's what's happening. All of these people he set up to do these pensions and 401ks and retirement plans and go to college and get your degree. Like, yeah, a lot of these people they did, some of them did become successful. And what I mean by that, they probably living a decent life. They got their house, they got their boat, they got their motorcycle. All right. They got a nice little amount of money in the bank. They can go on vacations and stuff like that with their degree or their success that they had within the labor force. But all of that, it is what it is until it ain't what it's supposed to be, which is coming soon. Because in order to move around, you're going to have to be part of the system, not just working within it. All right. So that's what it is. If he can profit off you, hey, he going to use you. But if you ain't got nothing, he don't need you. And now the fact that he has something that can replace you, guess what? He don't need you. He's not thinking about you working and having a maybe you got a 10-year plan based off of the finances that you make right now. He don't care nothing about none of that, man. He got a vision in mind. All right, it says verse 5, it says, "If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it." It's the same as the grape gatherers. It's the same person, He's gonna suck you dry, for lack of better words, He's gonna take everything that he can. All right. You drinking a Capri Sun, he'll cut open the top and dump out whatever is left in there. Okay, he want all of the grapes. He don't want to leave anything for the poor. Like I said, he's not going to be sorry. All right, that's the whole purpose of his system is for you to beg for mercy from him. And that's why we got to continue to trust in Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. It says, if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. And that's what he's done with the people. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? He'll actually act like you're considerate. He'll give you the illusion of option. All right, when all in all, both options lead down to the same road, man. You could be a Democrat or Republican. You can be a left, be the right. You can be whatever the case is. But it all leads down to the same road. But the fact that you have the illusion of that option, that gives you hope. It gives you an illusion of control. But all in all, he's really the master of it all. Okay? It says, and he will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry. There you go. There you go. Drawn thee dry twice and thrice, and at the last he will laugh thee to scorn afterwards. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. There you go. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down in jollity. And that's why I had looked that word up. All right. And it says lively and cheerful activity and celebration. And a lot of people are trying to force a lifestyle on themselves instead of living below their means. They're trying to keep themselves happy in the sense of still enjoying life. No, man, it's messed up out here. All right, and we're witnessing the fall of an empire. Okay, and we're in the midst of it, and that we gotta trust in Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI for him to deliver us up out of it. That's why we read the scriptures about the men who was in captivity. Okay, but the Lord still looked out for them and watched them. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. The Lord watches us. He looks out for us. He blesses us. But we also got to go through that straight gate, man, in order to get to where we going. And we just living in a time where it's that time. We living in a time where it's that time. And by that time, I mean for prophecy to be revealed, the man of sin and perdition to be revealed, the chariots are being revealed, the word is going out, the elect is being sealed, the wars and rumors of wars, and the MOTB coming to pass, and World War III is brewing up. We just in them times, man. Call all y'all BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and Lord willing, we're covered in those times to come. All right. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, you was edified. And once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, Shalom.